Look, detectives combing through the hood looking for a corpse. Draco hitting, I don't think your body can endure the force. I whipped the fish up with a fucking hanger or a fork. Told that bitch, go ahead, sniff what you want, there's plenty more to snort. I had an outstanding warrant for a short. Turned myself in, rocking Louis and all my jewelry, I wore the court.
Ladies and gentlemen, episode 69 of the Hard to Kill podcast. I am pleased to present aka Stone, aka the best interpreter in all of Afghanistan for Rogue PMT team. Stone, welcome, my friend.
Thank you. What's up, guys?
Great to see you. I mean, I feel like I haven't seen you in, seriously, I don't think I've seen you since Afghanistan.
Yeah, it's been like almost 11, 12 years.
Bro, you look exactly the same. Beautiful, my friend.
Same Shafi, same Stone.
I like it. You've been hitting the gym, dude? You're looking swollen than me, dude. Come on.
Yeah, actually, I started going to gym 2020.
I can tell. You're wearing XLs now like a big boy. I see it. So, talk to me a little bit of what's going on currently. What's your trajectory? Or what's your job currently? Where are you living? What are you doing?
Yeah. Currently, I live in Virginia.
Okay.
Yeah, I just got back from Qatar, Doha, Qatar. Currently, I'm assigned to MCAS in Doha, Qatar. I'm working with the U.S. Army in Qatar, supporting the Allies Refuge Mission in Qatar. So the Afghans who worked on behalf of United States government for past 21 years, like 21 years in Afghanistan. So most of them are trying to escape from Afghanistan. They don't want to stay under the Taliban regime. So they are trying to escape from Afghanistan. So the U.S. mission is to help those people, get them to Qatar after some paperwork documentation, so they will go to state. So wow. I am like helping those guys right now.
Okay. Just for the audience. So Stone was a huge part of our team when myself and Captain Donnerstag were in Afghanistan. He helped us greatly day to day in every mission that we were on. It became apparent that Stone was the top of the top when it came to interpreters. He made the other ones look subpar, if you will. Extremely well versed at his job, and he's a professional at the end of the day.
Thank you. I was trying to do my best.
Oh yeah, you're being humble, my friend, and your English has gotten much better. I gotta say, you're looking great. You sound great. I'm psyched that you're here today, Stone. So we have a lot of stuff going on right now, dude, which I'm extremely excited to talk to you about because I'd love to hear your opinion on it. Now, just because you said that right there, what do you think about what's currently going on, man? And what do you think about the people that are ultimately trying to leave Afghanistan? What's your opinion on that?
Actually, let me start from like 2021. So it was August 15, 2021, when the Taliban tried to enter Kabul city and took over the government. Actually, like they were trying to collapse the Afghanistan government. So they entered and we were all watching them. So they came and I was working with General Sullivan, a Marine general. So he told me, hey, Stone, actually my name was Viper during that mission.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So he told me, hey, Viper, so the priority is your family. So we have to get your family and like before the Taliban entered to Kabul city. I said, okay, but how? So everybody was so disappointing. So everybody is confused. So what to do? Because the Taliban was coming to Kabul city, all like the embassy, like the headquarters, like NATO, all the embassies. So they were trying to escape from like different part of Afghanistan and enter the airport, because the airport was, they called it like HKIA, Hamid Karzai International Airport. So everybody was trying to enter there to actually survive, to find a safe place to stay. So then, like, I was working with Morsog guys. They said, okay, let's get your guys, like your family. I said, okay, like they helped me to go off like the wire, get my family in. So the first mission was to bring all my family in. So I really appreciate all those guys that they helped me like get in all my family inside the airport.
So
Because
they had a specific mission for Mission Stone's family, get them and bring them
yeah,
back.
yeah,
Wow.
yeah, that was like exact mission for my family to just get them in. So after my family, like before, like actually they were heading to the airport, the Taliban came to our house. They start asking about me. They were asking about me and my other brothers, because my second brother, Rafi Hakimi, he was also a lieutenant colonel for the Ministry of Interior Affairs. He was also supporting NATO missions in Afghanistan. My other brother, Zabiullah Hakimi, he was also working as a logistic officer with Marines in the Air Force base.
Who did the Taliban talk to?
To my mom, like
they
they knocked my door, they knocked our door. So hey, where are your sons? My mom told them, oh, I don't know. They are in America, or some of them are in America. Like my other son is somewhere else. I don't know. Said no. Like actually, they beat my mom first. Yeah, they beat my mom with the butt of the. I don't know. Like she said, they had like M4. Yeah, the butt of M4. Then after like searching like the house, like they couldn't find anything against us. Then my family called me. Hey, like this is what happened. I told them just be quiet, don't worry about it. We already planned something for you guys. So then, like when it was getting like dark, like around like 5:36 p.m. So like they escaped from the house and they came to the airport.
Thank God.
Yeah. Finally, like they flew from Kabul to Qatar and from Qatar to Washington, D.C.
I'm so sorry that you had to deal with that, and I hope your mother's okay, man.
Yeah, thank you. The other good thing is while I was there in Ichkaya, I didn't knew that. So one day when I got back to the state, if you remember Captain Blankenship.
Yeah, I remember.
Yeah, he called me.
Mm.
He called me and he said, hey, Stone, do you know me? I say, yeah, I know you. I say, yeah, I was watching you guys back there. Like he asked me, so what I can do for your family? So is there anything? Like they actually did. They helped my family. They sent a group of guys to the airport, actually to Dallas airport, to pick up my family. They picked up my family from the airport. They dropped them at the hotel. And then like they send them somewhere else for like immigration system stuff. So they really helped my family. I really appreciate all those guys that did it. So yeah, now they're safe. I'm very happy that all my family is out of Afghanistan and they're safe.
That's awesome to hear, man.
Regarding to your question, yes. So that moment that we were trying to plan the mission for my family. So we actually walked toward the gates to see like which gate is safe, like actually to have a kind of survey, like planning.
Yep.
Pre-planning. So when we walked out, we saw like thousands of people like out of the gates. Everybody was there. I have videos. I just started recording.
What base is this?
It's Kaya.
Ah, gotcha.
Yeah. Right now it's like Kaya, like the Taliban removed H, and now it's like Kaya, Kabul International Airport.
Gotcha. I thought it was Hamid Karzai International Airport.
Yeah, that was Hamid Karzai International Airport. They removed like Hamid Karzai. Now it's just Kabul International Airport.
Because they think that he was probably they probably don't think too keenly of old Hamid Karzai. Is that right?
Yeah.
Sorry, Stone, I interrupted.
No, that's fine. So yeah, we saw like all those people and we got shocked. Oh, what's going on? So all people of Afghanistan is over here. Like you can't imagine like more than like 20, 30,000 people was behind all the gates.
Mm.
Yeah, then we planned something different and we just finally did it.
So wait, were you there when they bombed the front gate there?
Yeah, I was there. We lost like 11 guys.
So we'll talk. Talk about that. Talk about that day.
Yeah, actually, like that day, I think that's like kind of like mission thing. So I don't want to share that. So, but the what happened was there was some rumors. There were some rumors like the ISIS are trying to blow up VBIT. So we had that information. The guys was trying, like actually the Marines was trying to help the refugees, like the guests and like those people that they were trying to escape from Afghanistan. They were there. The Marines was helping them, especially like there was like 3 girls, like the Marine girls, they were trying to help the females. Those females, they had like babies, like 5 months, 6 months, like 7 months. You guys might saw the pictures of them on the social media. Yeah. So they were trying to help like those kids and families. So the VBIT, like the ISIS guys entered to the safe area and blew themselves. I was just, I think I was the other side of the wall. So they did the VBIT on, they called arena camp, in front of arena camp. So I was the other side of the building, like the civilian airport. So we were like securing that area. I was there.
Is this the VBID that hit the 11 Marines?
Coordinated.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
And actually, this brings up a good point. And Stone, I kind of wanted to get your feedback on this, but apparently in the last day, the Taliban said that they had killed the individual that was responsible for that attack. Apparently, it was an ISIS fighter. I think I have my own thoughts and opinions about that, and I'm kind of wondering how you feel about that, Stone. He said that the Taliban killed this individual that was responsible for it.
To be honest, so all the Taliban are same. All the tourists are same. There is no difference between Taliban, ISIS, like this and that. Tourists are all tourists.
Mm.
I will tell you a story. Like, if you guys remember, it was 2020, the first agreement with the Taliban. When US had the first agreement with the Taliban, it was for a month. The Taliban and ISIS, they were working together.
Mm-hmm.
So at nighttime, so they were trying to took off the black flag. The black flag, and instead of that, they were like having the white flag. They were just changing the flags. That's it. That was the only difference I saw, like in Uruzgan 2020.
So do you think there's some sort of coordination between the two, between ISIS and the Taliban? And, maybe ISIS is running some parts of the country while the Taliban is kind of running other parts and maybe the major parts of the country now? And are
You
they
know,
working
right now,
together?
right now, like the situation is worst. Like couple months ago, Emmanuel Zawahiri, like the second leader of Al Qaeda, he got killed in Kabul city,
I
the
saw that.
safest
Who,
place of Kabul,
who killed him?
US. Like we killed them with a drone.
Okay.
So the Taliban are saying, oh, we don't know he was there. We didn't know that he was there. So what does that mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
So I think they're all same.
They're all the same. Yeah. And
They're all
working together.
Yeah, they're all working together. They are all like under like same planning, same strategy, like everything is, I think, same.
Yeah. How is ISIS being funded, especially in Afghanistan?
Yeah, like the same thing like the Taliban, like how the Taliban are funded.
The Taliban's being funded through opium. It's a drug trade.
Yeah, they also like the same thing like with the ISIS. They have like more power than the Taliban in some places, especially
Really?
in part of Afghanistan.
Mm-hmm.
Like they are controlling most part of like Jalalabad, Laghman, like all like borders between like
Pakistani
that
border.
Tora Bora, like Spinra, like all those area.
The specifically like the Pakistani border.
Yeah, between like the bordering area.
And is there still freedom? Like I know back in the day with on the border of Pakistan, there was this freedom of movement that these fighters had to go from Pakistan into Afghanistan and then back to Pakistan. There was no there's basically no barrier, and Pakistan was almost its own safe haven for these fighters. Is it kind of the same thing for ISIS now, where the
Uh,
Pakistani government's just kind of turning a blind eye?
I think the Pakistan government, they are still helping like these groups. So for Pakistan, it doesn't matter. It's like ISIS, Taliban, or a different group. So they are fighting for their own benefits.
Mm.
They want Afghanistan to be one of their states as right now.
Mm.
So right now, Afghanistan is one of the states of Pakistan because they are running Afghanistan.
Mm. So it
Who is the
benefits.
president? Yeah,
So
who is the president of Taliban? There is no, they don't have any like leader. They don't have the president. So they say like there is a guy, his name is Mullah Haibatullah, but nobody know him. Nobody saw his face.
there was that guy that was hiding out in Pakistan, and as soon as Afghanistan fell to the Taliban, this guy came out of Pakistan,
Yeah.
was hiding in Pakistan, drove over the border and back into Afghanistan, and took I can't remember the dude's name. It might be the guy that you're talking about, but there
Yep.
was a video
Does that
driving
ultimately mean that
Pakistan.
Pakistan runs the Taliban? I mean,
Well, you remember it was like there was there was the tribal areas of Pakistan.
Waziristan, I think. Yeah.
I can't remember. Hold on, where they used to have the Quetta. Quetta. You remember Quetta?
Yeah, Quetta.
Quetta, yeah. So that was like the major hub over there, and it was basically like just a free zone of just terrorism, just the terrorism hotspot. And I'm sure, yeah, that there was a lot of individuals that came from that area and back into Afghanistan after the fall of Afghanistan.
Yeah, so Pakistan is a safe place for the Taliban. So you guys will still remember. So whenever like something was happening to the Taliban, they were going to Pakistan, like to the hospitals, like to just training and everything.
Yeah. which is kind of an interesting topic, because it's like it's almost as if without cutting off the head of the snake, which some would argue that it was Pakistan, all attempts at ridding Afghanistan of terrorism, to include the Taliban, were kind of futile.
Yeah, let's see
Yeah.
what will happen. What's next?
Mm.
We're gonna see that like soon, I think.
I hate to say this, but Stone, because I know this is, well, I know you're an American now, and I know that you love this country, but I also hate to say this, because that, unfortunately, I think America's turned their back on Afghanistan. Not a decision that I would have been comfortable making, but politics were at play, and I think, unfortunately, yeah, we turned our back to an extent on Afghanistan after all we've done, all we did over there. I don't know how you see it, but that's how I see it.
Yeah, but what I think about that is, we were there for like 20 years. We spent lots of money, but what we achieved, nothing.
I don't know. I disagree though.
The thing is, like, all the money that we were sending to Afghanistan, like that was the leaders they were using like the money, and nothing was going actually like to the base of Afghanistan.
Yeah.
For example, if you remember, the money that was going to police, so the police, they had no salary. They never had any food in their checkpoints.
Mm-hmm.
If you remember, like when we were doing the checking on their mails, they were saying we never had mail from MOI.
Yeah.
They were supposed to get 3-time mail, so the price was like, I think on that time it was 120 Afghani per like a day.
Yeah.
So they were saying, what, we don't know, what is that? That means, so it was all like going to somebody else's pockets.
So you're saying the leader of the police was getting all the money?
Stone, I think you know as well as anybody else that there was a lot of corruption within political system, within, like you were saying, the Ministry of Interior, and unfortunately, like that's involved in a bit of nation building at that point, and setting up, teaching an army and teaching police tactics is one thing, but trying to rid a society of corruption after it's been there for tens, if not hundreds of years, that's something completely different, and I would argue almost a little bit harder.
Yeah, and like the way the Taliban took over Afghanistan, that was not like by force. Taliban did not have that power to take over Afghanistan by force. They could never do that. The army, special forces, like NDS units, like they are much stronger than.
Well, are you talking about in 2021? Or are you talking about
really
like 2021? The way like they took over Afghanistan.
Right. Well,
that was all. Like I think that was.
Hold on, you got to explain that a little bit.
Kind of
how did the Taliban take over then?
So, like, how they took it over? The question is like, how? By force? No.
By money. I think that they probably paid and instilled fear. Stone, you were there, and you're Afghani. You could speak better to this, but that's my opinion. I think that they probably paid some people off and promised that they wouldn't kill their families and them when they were taking over Afghanistan. And I think there was a lot of fear that was instilled. That's my take. And from the things that I've read, and knowing Afghanistan a little bit, that's kind of my take. How do you see it?
So, what I think about it, that was all kind of agreement between the president, the vice president, and the Taliban. And also, I blame Khalilzad. Like Khalilzad was the one that he was kind of um, doing like this process, the agreement process. Zolmay Khalilzad was the special envoy of United States in Afghanistan. Like he was the one that he did all these things. Because just think of this. 6 Taliban with motorcycle going to a brigade of ANA. The ANA, they have Humvees, they have Madvies, they have RPGs, like mortars, everything. So how 6 bikers, like 6 motorcycle guys from the Taliban disarming the brigade of ANA? How is that possible?
Yeah.
That's true.
Political persuasion and money, I suppose.
So propaganda pushed that story that the Taliban forcibly took over, while in back rooms people were okay.
So I think that's super interesting. I think what would benefit Nick's audience here is if you kind of told your story. I think that would be super interesting. Definitely. When I say your story, like, I don't know, I know a little bit of your story, but I think you know, for somebody that's really never been an Afghan, I think they want to know how you know, how it all started for you, how you got into being a linguist, and then how you got your citizenship, and kind of the bumps that occurred in between there.
Yeah, so after I graduated from university, I was trying to get a civilian job, actually, on my own field as an engineer. That was hard for me because, number one, in Afghanistan, you have to know someone to get a job, or you have to have like a kind of relationship and ties to get a job. So one day a friend of mine told me, hey, do you want to be a linguist? That's like easy, you know, you can speak English, you know, Dari, Pashto, you can be an interpreter. I said, oh, yeah, let's try that. So I just sent my, I just sent my resume.
Little did you know.
I just sent my resume to a place they called that Phoenix, I think. Yeah. I sent my resume to that place. Actually, like that friend of mine, like he took my resume to that place. Now he is an American citizen too. Yeah. Next day, I got a call from them. Say, hey, we received your resume. You want to be interpreter? I say, yeah, I want it. Okay, tomorrow morning, like 7 o'clock, you have to be there. I said, okay. I went there. I had my test. So after testing, like background check and everything, so in a week or so, I got my card. Like they issued a badge after CIA screening. So they sent my badge and asked me if you can go to Kandahar. I said, okay, I will go to Kandahar. I booked my flight to Kandahar. I went to Kandahar. From Kandahar, I got the assignment to Helmand. I went to Helmand. I was in Leatherneck for
what year was that?
2009. 2009.
Okay.
Crazy. Real quick, who does the background checks and like the whole process of, you know, becoming an interpreter? Who actually facilitates that?
Yeah, back this it was like I think Army CI.
Gotcha.
Yeah, the Army like CI. They were doing all that thing. Also, there was some contractors like DynCorp and other companies. They were doing the background check. So I went to Helmand. Then like me, some other guys, like we become close friends. with each other. So there was a guy, he came, I don't know, he was a master sergeant or something. Like he said, oh, I need like 4 interpreters for FRA. I didn't know where is FRA. I just, okay, I'm going to FRA. Yeah, I said, okay, I'm going to FRA.
Where FRA was.
Yeah, I didn't know where FRA was. Because I grew up in Kabul.
Yeah.
So I didn't know where or the other provinces are. So I said, okay, I'm going to FRA. So I got the first assignment to FRA. The first assignment was with AUP, Major Farid.
Oh,
Wait, you worked with Major Farid then?
Yeah.
you worked with him before? Wow.
2009, like the first mission was Major Farid.
I didn't know that.
I feel like I probably knew that, but I've forgotten since. That's crazy.
Yeah, Major Farid was like in charge of AUP. We went there the first day. Let me think. There was a second lieutenant. I forgot his name. There was a second lieutenant. There was a staff sergeant, and also there was a Dine Corp advisor, Steve Saluja.
I remember that.
He was there. Then we went to start our mission, talking with Major Farid. Then Major Farid invited us for lunch. Then we start mission from there. I was working there with that unit. After that, the next unit showed up. I think that was 222. Yeah, I think that was 22. And then 26.
What was FRA like as far as conflict? Was there a lot of
the first assignment was just we were training the MP.
Okay.
We were training the MP, and also like once a week we were going to the mission, like just Highway 1. Our mission was just Highway 1. Then like the second unit showed up after 9 months. It was, I think, 26. Then I start working with them. Then they left. I start working with the HQ with a captain. His name was, I forgot his name. So after that, Gunnery Sergeant
Lyons?
Line, like he showed up with his guys.
With Blankenship. He was at Blankenship.
Yeah. First time, like Gani showed up.
Yeah.
Gani showed up like the first day, and later on, like Blankenship showed up with all his unit. So I start working with them.
And that's when you went to Nimruz province, like Delaram area.
Yeah, Delaram. Actually, the AUP was still in Delaram. Yeah. Like that was like the AUP station was the other side of the bridge by D2.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So I started working with them when you guys showed up. So
oh, you.
Yeah.
You remember that, Stone?
Yeah.
Oh.
Actually, I was so tired with the unit and with the interpreters back there, like the old station.
You know what I was thinking about? Oh man, this might be an interesting story. There was a guy there, and I don't know, Nick, I don't even know if you know this, but there was another interpreter there that was
Alex.
called. Was it Alex?
No, yeah, I remember this happening.
I remember you found something out about this dude, or you caught him doing something.
Tell us.
I beat him up. So one day.
Here we go.
Yeah.
So, I don't know if this is appropriate, Stone, but maybe.
Come on, let's hear it.
All right, go, Stone.
Stone, let's hear it.
Tell on the story. Go ahead.
I don't know, like, where is that guy now? Like, one day he called me actually. Later on, like, he got blacklisted.
He's probably not alive anymore, so we can probably talk about it. What happened?
No, he's alive. He's in Pakistan. He's alive.
You would know that. Okay. He's alive.
Yeah, because one day he called me. I don't know, like on Facebook or somehow, like he called me. He said, "Hey, can you help me to go to America?" I said, "What? You still want to go to America? You
I'm
are black."
surprised he called you.
Yeah. Then like I told them, sorry.
Sorry,
Yeah,
not gonna
you can.
happen.
Yeah, you can't go there because you are blacklisted.
Oh shit. So okay.
Oh, what was the situation that
Yeah, what
you
was the situation, bro?
tie up?
I think that's not appropriate. Just
Was he half Taliban?
no, he was.
There was some other stuff that was going
Yeah,
on.
he was doing some other things.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, one day, like I told him, so stop doing that. Why and stuff. He told me like mind your own business. I started like beating him up. Then like Gani showed up. Gani told me, "Hey, you goddamn Afghans, you cannot like come along with each other and stuff like that." I told them, "Okay, if you are not happy, I will quit this job like today. I don't want to work with you
You
anymore."
would
I
say
just
that.
told, yeah, I told Gani.
So
Yeah,
he was either involved with Poppy, he was probably doing some weird stuff with kids, or he was the latter.
yeah, something like that.
Yeah, gotcha.
Yeah,
God, that just happens a lot over there, huh?
yeah.
Weird.
And actually, like what I think of him, like he was not Afghan. He was
You
not
don't
Afghan.
yeah, but still, Stone, we saw that a lot where we were at with the A&P. You know,
Yeah, yeah,
is that like a common thing in Afghanistan with like certain Pashtun or every time me and you talked about Pashtun, you'd always talk about them like they were like I don't know, like hillbillies or lower society, if you will. And I'm not, you know, trying to insult anyone, but
You're
it
getting
is
this
what it
guy in
is.
trouble here, man. Stone, you're Tajik, right?
yeah. I am.
My bad.
No, the thing is, um, like Pashtun, Tajik, Uzbek, Hazara, like all nations are living in Afghanistan. So you can see like bad people all over the places. So we cannot blame like Tajik is good, Pashtun is bad, or Pashtun is bad, Tajik is good, Hazara is good, or so like they are all Afghan, they are living in Afghanistan. So the people, they have like different opinion, they are doing something, they are thinking this is right in their opinion, but like when you tell them, hey, this is wrong, it's like hard for them to just
Yeah, I hear you.
accept that, to just take it. Yeah, so like after like what happened, and like the funny part was when we took over like the compound.
Oh yeah.
I don't know if you guys remember, like when we
Yeah.
took over the previous compound.
We took over the NDS compound. Yep. Between
Yeah.
606 and Route 1, yeah.
Yeah, the 606.
I think people were not very keen on that, but that's okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It all
We
worked
took
out.
it over. We liked it. We were happy back there.
Yeah.
That was a nice place.
I kind of want to
relative to the rest of Afghanistan, or I don't want to say the rest of Afghanistan, the rest of where we were, yes, it was very nice.
I mean, we might as well
that
talk
place
about
was much nice.
if the three of us are here together, we might as well talk about our deployment a little bit. What did when you first came to us, what were you I don't know, what were you thinking?
Actually, I already had like experience with the other two units before you guys. But when I saw like that guy, like the argument I had with Alex, and then like I saw Captain Don. So when I saw him, like he asked me like, "You want to work for me?" Then I start working like with you guys and new compound, the India's compound.
Wait, so the first time that you saw Captain Donnerstag was at our compound or was that D2?
No, HQ.
Mm.
Yeah, I met him. So when he was in HQ with Captain Blankenship, I think Captain Blankenship was your classmate or something.
I went to school with his brother. I went to OCS with his brother. His
Yeah,
brother
yeah,
was
I remember that.
yeah. So yeah. The whole family's a good family. He's good people. But yeah,
Also,
he was wrapping up his deployment.
oh, he put you on
Yeah,
his stomach. Gotcha.
Yeah, they were gonna go home,
Gotcha.
and I didn't want you going to I didn't want you going to their other the team that was gonna be taking over for them. So
yeah.
I forget what happened, but I guess I made some deals. I can't remember how it happened, but
I think
Nice, nice.
the guy like Major
Taylor, Major Taylor.
Major Taylor, yeah. Major Taylor was your boss.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, like he asked me, yeah, like he asked me like to work with Captain Donnerstag because he wants to have same mission with Major Farid, and you know Major Farid better than the other people. I
Mm-hmm.
say, okay, then we start working together.
Yep. Yep.
Yeah, that was a good time.
Yeah.
It was a
Yeah.
good time, definitely.
One second.
Um, it's funny seeing you here because I've been in so many like weird situations with you, Stone. I had a really good time with you on that deployment, man. We definitely learned a lot very fast about your culture. It's weird because now you're here. I never thought I'd see you again, honestly. And seeing you in America is just so, I don't know. We got worried for a lot of guys over there that they weren't coming back, because let's face it, a lot of people that we worked with, I mean, do you know anything about the guys that were in A&P? Did a lot of them, have you seen them again or no? I
No,
don't know.
no, like after what happened, like April 4. So after that, I never like saw any of like those guys. Yeah, just one day I got a call from Major Farid.
Oh, of course he's still around.
Yeah, yeah, he called me and he asked me like talk to these guys to help me go to America.
Did you like Major Freed?
He was corrupt.
Obviously.
Yeah,
I knew that.
yeah, he was corrupt, but that like he had some good things and bad things too.
Gotcha. Gotcha. I know it's difficult to talk about. That's so crazy,
Yeah,
man.
Major Freed was the he was the commander of I guess it was the AHP or the highway patrol over there, right?
yeah.
And when was the last time you actually talked to Major Farid?
I think it was 2012, 13, something like that, before coming to America.
Yeah, I think I remember you telling me that. And
Yeah,
he didn't he tell you that there's a lot of dudes that had passed away, like Mr. Miyagi, like
yeah, Mr. Miyagi, he
Damn.
passed away.
What about
The
Rambo?
Taliban had
Rambo.
his
They
head.
killed Rambo, right? Didn't they kill Rambo?
Yeah,
Ah,
they
A lot
killed
of the
Rambo, they killed Gulpi.
yes, yep, yeah. I
which one was
remember
that?
that. So he was the guy that had the really curly hair
Yep.
that worked directly for Major Farid.
Gotcha.
And
Do you know like the actual situation that they got Rambo in?
What Major Farid told me, Mr. Miyagi, he was going on leave. He was going on leave most of the time. He was using the buses, like the big buses that they were traveling from Herat to Kabul. He was in one of those buses. The Taliban captured him in somewhere and chopped his head and sent him to Major Farid. Same thing happened to Gulpi. I don't know what was his real name. I forgot his real name, but I still remember Gulpi. Like same thing happened to him. The Taliban captured him in Dilaram Bazaar or somewhere and chopped his head, sent it to Major Farid.
How long after we had left did this happen?
Actually, like after we left there, everything got messed up.
Really?
Yeah.
Like how?
I don't know more about that, but what Major Farid told me, so after you guys left, the Taliban was getting closer every day. They were attacking like the checkpoint. They took over some checkpoints, and then like the rest of the Marines, they were there. So they were also trying to just um, come to D2, I think.
No,
They left that base.
they weren't operating like we were.
Yeah. Like Captain Captain was the only commander I saw him like he was actually like doing his job.
Gotcha.
I remember like
You hear that? You hear that, Donnerstag?
yeah, like before like starting mission with him, I was assigned an HQ. So in HQ we had only just one mission a week. That's it.
Really?
Yeah, the mission was just walk in the city and come back.
Oh my
That was
God.
it. So when I started working with him, he started like the mission every day, like 2 times, 3 times. I told him, so you are working so hard, but the other guys are not working same as you. So what do you mean? I said, yeah, I was in HQ. So the guy was going out in mission just once a week. Then, because he was a first lieutenant, I think, or a second lieutenant, I forgot his name. He was like a skinny, tall guy. The commander was the skinny, tall guy. I forgot his name. Then, like, I think Captain Donnerstag told them, yeah, you guys need to work. And then they start working hard too. Yeah,
that's funny.
I remember that.
Here's what I will say. You know, like I know that we worked hard, you know.
Yeah.
And so for me, I didn't feel comfortable. We had other interpreters. I didn't feel comfortable leaving, going anywhere without you, Stone. I didn't because honestly, I didn't trust anybody else as much as I do. Because I knew exactly what was being translated how it needed to be translated, and there was no fudging anything. To the point where, you know, I think that almost hurt you, Stone. You know, I know that you were getting tired, and then you were also getting threatened.
Yeah.
You could probably tell that story a lot better than I could.
Yeah. Who was putting pressure on you, Stone, by telling us the real shit?
Let me think his name. So my memory also kind of messed up. The contractor, he was bringing like food for us.
Really?
What was his name that you kicked his ass during that and compound?
Kicking his ass.
What was his name?
Or Donnerstag.
Rios?
Stone, I don't remember, man. My memory is awful.
Yeah, I think his name was Rios. He had the contract. Like
he had
he had the 606 contract to build the brakes.
Oh yeah.
And
what? Explain what happened with that.
Yeah, like one day, like he came into the base, like after we captured one of his guys. So do you remember, like one day we got a report that checkpoint 4, where one of the checkpoint was under attack.
Yep.
We went there on 606. We went there, and then on the way back,
the one they killed his boy. They killed one of his guys, right? They shot through and they blew up that little pickup that they had, right?
Yeah. I will come back to that.
I'm jumping around. I'm trying to refresh my memory with this.
Yeah. So like when we went there to help the A&P guys, so there was a kind of conflict. And then on the way back, we saw one of the guy was standing there with AK.
Yeah.
And that blue Mazda was parked there,
Yeah, I
had like
remember that.
shots. So
Yeah.
when we stopped the Vic, so I just walked from backside of the Madvi, like I got his AK first. Like I just took his
I remember
AK from
this.
him. Yeah, I
Yeah.
gave it to Captain.
Yeah.
When I gave Captain, like he just checked the
Rack the bullet out.
yeah, he checked it and he noticed that there was some carbon on the chamber. I remember that.
Oh,
So there,
that's right. That's right. It had just recently been
yeah,
shot. Yeah, that's right. I remember that.
yeah, and then I didn't knew this thing because I never like had like that
Oh, I hear
experience
you.
or
Yep.
anything. So like he explained to me that like I think this guy was there attacking the checkpoint, and now when we went there
Yep.
to help them, he escaped and he is right here because the
Jedi.
chamber showed, yeah, the chamber showed like he was just fighting. He was just shooting
Did
his
you forget
rifle.
about that, Dan?
I did. But as he's telling the story, I'm remembering it. Yeah. Dude, I'm
That's
Then
telling
crazy.
like
That's crazy.
yeah, then we arrested that guy. We
Yeah.
put him in prison.
our little makeshift prison that we had over
Yeah,
there.
our little hut prison.
Little jail over
Yeah.
there. Yeah.
Oh man,
Uh,
we had a wild deployment, man.
We turned
That
him
is
yeah,
over.
like
funny.
later on, that guy he came to the base
Oh, yeah.
and said,
And
"Hey, if I see you out of the gate, I will kill you."
Yeah. Yeah.
uh,
Yeah.
that's
Yeah,
right.
he told me that, and then I start like kind of getting hard with him. Then Captain just he just ran toward us. I told him like what he said. He start like
Yeah, I
uh,
remember.
yeah, you
Yeah,
remember that.
you're funny, Stone.
Eh, I was verbally a little loud. I
Yeah,
did.
verbally like
Of course, you verbalize that you shouldn't be saying those things.
And I
Yes.
remember as I'm like kind of raising my voice, Stone to interpret, he's also raising his voice. It was really
You know what I
hilarious.
never thought of? I never thought of how Stone must have looked to the other Afghans. He's rolling around with 30 U.S. Marines deep,
Yeah.
hacking. Like, you must have been pretty intimidating to a lot of people over
So
there.
yeah,
You know, come on.
do
And
you
it's
remember
always just
my
him with you. It would
project?
always, go ahead, my bad, go ahead.
Oh, sorry to interrupt.
Just think about it. Think about it. It would always be you and Dan just rolling up to houses. What's going on? And it's just you. It must. What was the reaction that a lot of like the civilians gave you? Were they intimidated? Were they happy that we were there? What was their
I think none of them were happy.
really?
Yeah, none of them.
So they were
Like
Taliban supporters then.
yeah, they were all Taliban supporters because the whole area was all Taliban
Gotcha.
because they were hiding ID under the bridge.
Yeah,
So
but
all
I was just assuming that they had to do that. You know what I mean? Like they were forced, but I didn't think they were like,
that's
100%
also
Taliban
yeah, like that's also possible because we didn't had like 24/7 presence in
surveillance.
the area
Yeah,
to protect them. They had to listen to the Taliban too. Because if you remember one day a guy said, so for placing one ID, I'm getting like 5,000. I'm getting 5,000 Afghani to place this ID under the bridge. So I don't have a job. I don't have a job. There's nothing else to do to support my family. I have to do this.
gotcha.
they're basically just peons, just trying to make some money for
Yeah.
their family.
Okay. So it's kind of like
Yeah.
mafia-ish.
Yeah, it's like kind of
You know what I mean? Like I hear you. Okay.
folks that really don't know any better. You have to
Yeah,
understand.
I get
This
it.
is
These are
the
people
living.
that come from nothing, like something like that.
How much they would get more money for opium if the Taliban pay Taliban would pay them more money for opium crops than they would for wheat or any other crops at that point, right,
So
Stone?
basically, all that opium that we saw, that was all. It had to be all Taliban. People just don't grow opium. You know what I
Right,
mean?
right.
Stone, would you think like after all is said and done, would you say that the U.S.'s involvement with Afghanistan was for the better or worse for Afghanistan? Do you think we accomplished anything positive over there, or do you think ultimately it was pointless?
Actually, like when like let's talk about like 2001.
Right?
So 2001, what happened in the world? Then the US came to Afghanistan. So
You're
the
talking about
US,
9/11. You're talking about 9/11.
yeah, 9/11.
Yeah. Okay.
So after 9/11, so when US start like going to Afghanistan, the missions and everything. So everything started from zero in Afghanistan. US built schools, like the guys was going to school. There was lots of improvements. So Afghanistan was kind of like in a better position, like um, in telecommunication, internet, like transportation, like highways. Like Afghanistan was in a good situation. So when we start like funding all these projects, especially like the females. They were going to school, they were going to college, universities, they were working. But right now, so they're not allowed to work, they're not allowed to go to school. So everything we did for 20 years in Afghanistan, um, currently, it's like just the opposite.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
So I kind of feel as if that's why our the US's time in Afghanistan isn't for naught, because there was this period of 20 years where females did have a bit of freedom, where they could opt to go to school, they could learn, they could read, and they could study and get occupations that they wouldn't be able to get before the Taliban, um, when the Taliban was in power. And so that's 20 years that those females had where they didn't know oppression under the Taliban rule. And I think them having that taste of freedom and whatnot is probably maybe a little bit of fire for them to hopefully at some point, if they do
You
become
think
free.
you really think that'll ever happen again?
I don't know. I'd like to be optimistic about this, but I think instead we need to be more realistic. Unfortunately, like I said, we're not going to come to their aid anymore. It's just not going to happen. Who's left to kind of help out Afghanistan now at this point?
I really take that as a kick to the nuts, man. I know it's stupid to think of it like that, but I really felt like we did good work over there, man. I thought it felt at the time that we were, like it really felt like we were the good guys. You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
yeah,
I hope that's not ignorant saying that, but I felt like we were helping people that were hurting
yeah, yeah.
against
I
an oppressor to some degree.
yeah, for sure. Like there was a bit of Sharia law over there that was imposed by the Taliban, where like, hey, there was a beard patrol. If you didn't have a beard at some point, then they would punish you. But on another note, look, one of the hardest working individuals that I know, this man right here, Stone, we got you, and we got you to come to the United States, and
That was
and
huge.
you and many other interpreters, and Nick, you could speak to this too, have come to this country as a result of the U.S. Presence in Afghanistan, I think we're better for it, you know.
Definitely.
And then you get to tell your story, and you get to, you know, and by you telling your story, and I know this is only snippet of it, and but I think by you telling your story, I think for people in the United States that really don't know any better about what oppression is, about the lacks of lacking liberty, I think if you do tell your story as in depth as you possibly can, I think that people here in this country will begin to understand how good they have
Yeah,
it.
it's what they need. They need to
Right.
hear that. Yeah.
Later on Afghan.
Oh,
Who were doing the CI screening and the badging, the Taliban, they had influence all over the places. They knew like who you are, and they were trying to kill you. And whenever the interpreters was going out, so usually they were in the front line and they were getting shot. Lots of interpreters, they lost their lives.
Right.
Because
Yeah.
the Taliban was saying the interpreters are the tongue of the Americans.
Yeah. Yeah.
If the interpreters stop supporting Americans, they won't be able to come to our villages.
Right.
They won't be able to work. So for me and my family, it was really tough because I had no choice to support my family, and I had to become an interpreter to have a better life. So when I became an interpreter, I started 2009. Then, like what happened in 2011, I was hospitalized for like 7, 8 months. So I remember like 2011, like captain and the guy, the civilian contractor, his name was uh, Richard Crawford.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Great
Like,
guy. He still calls me all the time.
oh, that's good.
Yeah.
Like him and Captain Donnerstag, like they start like helping me to fill out the documentation to go to America because they noticed how it's risky for me to live in Afghanistan. So unfortunately, like after what happened to Richard Crawford, so we lost all the documents.
Mm.
Yeah, like what happened to him and that explosion. So we lost all the paperwork, and I start like everything from zero again.
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
Stone,
Then
real quick, do you currently feel like you're in danger because of the role you played with us?
yeah, definitely. So that's the only reason. So I was facing threat because of working with Americans. Otherwise, I was just local Afghans. Before that, I had no issue going anywhere. So the day I became interpreter, so the risks start like getting high. So I received so many letters from the Taliban, like when US was in Afghanistan. So they were like threatening my family, hey, tell your son to stop working with Americans, otherwise we will kill him and the whole family. Yeah,
But
like that happened like
you know,
several times. I remember that the moment, like after I think it was 2, 3 months after you get out of the hospital. Uh, I remember you sent me an email. You sent me an email. You asked me, "Hey, Stone, what's going on? Like, how can I help you to get to a state?"
yeah.
Then we start like the paperwork. They ask for a recommendation letter, and also like they ask for a letter from captain that he needs to do this and that later. So when I asked around, they said nobody will do that because they asked for like some specific information from you and that later.
Mm-hmm.
And then I noticed, like I asked around from other Americans, they said none, like zero people will give you that later. And then I contacted captain and asked him. So I received this email from the National Visa Center. They are asking for this type of document that Shafi is posing no threats to the safety and security of the United States. And they were also asking about your date of birth and last four.
Yeah.
Yeah, like then like captain, I really appreciate him, like what he did for me. Actually, like he saved my life. So he sent that letter to the National Visa Center, and also he sent one copy for me. So then I received another letter from National Visa Center to fill out these documents and stuff. Now, I want to mention Air Force Colonel. Like his name was Colonel Gary Eilers. Like he was the one working at CACTIC. They call it CACTIC back days. He was supporting the Afghan Air Force. After hospitalization, like 2012, I started working with the Air Force, with American Air Force in Kaya. So that day, like he asked me, "Hey, why you are not going to America? You did a lot for us." And I told him, "I want to go to America, but how?" He asked me, "Did you apply?" I said, "Yeah, I did apply, but no chance." Then I got my approval. Then the paperwork started. Then it took like a year or so to get my visa.
Wow.
And then I had just one day on my visa to get expired.
It expired. I remember this because you were flying into was it Newark or JFK?
JFK.
Oh.
We were flying to JFK. I remember we were going back and forth. Like, Stone, you got to get your flight here because his visa expired on January 1st, 2014. He says, I think I got a flight. I got a flight for December 31st, 2013. I said, Stone, man, you were cutting this close, dude. So it was great. So Stone, I think you should tell the story about, April 4th, 2011. And, Stone is very humble. But Stone was Stone. Tell your story, and then I'll tell you why that date and specifically is how it's so significant, why it's so significant to me.
Actually, that day I think we had the intel to go to Mela Bazaar.
Yes, Mela Bazaar. Remember this, Jesus. Yes.
Yeah, Mela Bazaar. Mela Bazaar was like the big poppy bazaar. Like the drug dealers, like weapon sellers, so everybody was there. So we planned a mission to go there just with 9 guys. We had just, I think, 9 guys, yeah?
No, we had more.
We had like 12 or 15.
We had 3 Vic. I remember we had just 3 Vic.
Yeah.
We had 3 Vic and also 1 A&P Vic.
Yep.
2, I believe, right?
Actually, you always rolled with 2, at least 2.
One behind me, and then one behind Vic 2.
Yeah, you're right.
I don't know, it was 2 or 3, yeah?
2.
I think it was 2.
Yeah, so we went there. What I remember, so we went there, we found like the opium processors. So those guys, like they were like processing the opium to crystal meth or to something else. We found that place.
Heroin,
yeah, we destroyed like the whole area, if I'm not mistaken. Then we start like heading back to 606.
Yeah.
On the way, I think one of the mine ruler lost one of the tires. What I remember, you told Cervantes to just do not go the way you came.
Yeah.
I remember that. And then so somehow like I think we went the same way.
No.
So like then we got hit by ID. It was like evening time.
Yeah, but it actually hit our vehicle, and
Yeah.
Stone was
Yeah,
sitting.
I was like behind him. So he was in the front seat. I was like behind him. And then I don't know who was the gunner. The gunner was
Right.
yeah, yeah. And then
Ryan Weber was next to
like
you.
yeah. So after like what happened, so everybody was kind of like shooting around. Then I don't know who like took me off from the Vic.
Doc Martin.
Then, so I think like the dog, like he was thinking, so I passed away. Yeah, like this is like what he said when I called him one day from.
That's what he told. He told me that too.
Yeah. So like what I did, so I told all A and P, so do not tell what to my family what happened to me over here. So if my family called you guys and asked you guys what happened to him, tell my family he is on a mission somewhere else. Because my mom, like she had high blood pressure, and I didn't
Okay.
wanted her like to hear this.
Yep.
Yeah. Then I think like the medic guys showed up. They transferred us to D2. From D2, we went to Bastion, I think. They transferred us to Bastion. The leather, like by the Leatherneck, the British hospital.
Yeah. So what?
Yeah.
So explain what your injuries were and what happened.
So I was in the back seat. So the ID, I think, was too big. The ID was 200 pounds or something.
I don't think it was that much, but it was big. Yeah.
Yeah, that was big ID. So my left ankle was broken. My left ankle was broken from like both sides. Then like I had like injury on my knee on like different places from that accident. Then I was in Bashan Hospital, I don't know, for a couple of days. Then I still remember the major you talked to him, the Marine major.
I don't remember.
Yeah, there was a major you talked to him because like they were transferring you guys to Japan.
No,
And I was
we were supposed to go to
Germany or Japan somewhere.
Germany.
Yeah, yeah. You guys were going to Germany, and I was staying in Bashan. I was staying in Bashan. You talked to that major to just help my interpreter, help him like what he needs and stuff. And he was coming like every day. Every day he was showing up like, hey, what you need, what I can do for you and stuff like that. Then they transferred me from Bashan Hospital to ANA Hospital in Kandahar. I didn't feel safe back there. I told them, no, I don't want to stay here. Just send me to Kabul. From there, they sent me to Kabul to another ANA hospital. So that was really like bad time because I was thinking, see, I was like working for Americans. And then like what happened to me, now they are sending me to the ANA hospitals. So when I got to ANA hospital in Kabul, they call it Dawood Khan Hospital. That's like a military hospital. So a guy showed up, told me, hey, don't try to stay here tonight.
Yeah.
If you try to stay here tonight, they will kill you. Because they know you are an interpreter and the Taliban are here. Even like the ANA, they are helping. Some of them are like helping the Taliban. So they will kill you. So I had no choice to go home. So I just called my brother. I told him, hey, I'm in the hospital with a friend of mine. So can you please come to the hospital, just help us? He said, okay, are you okay? I said, yeah, I'm all right. There's nothing going on. Just come to the hospital. Like he came to the hospital, then I went to a private hospital that was like kind of safe.
Gotcha.
Yeah. I was there for like 2-3 months. Then
Wow.
went to a different hospital. I was under like hospitalization for like 6-7 months.
I remember.
Yeah.
Remember reaching out to you.
Were you in communication with him this whole time, Dan?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy because it feels like, we would be in contact every single day, but it feels like there was maybe a week that went by that I didn't talk to Stone, and it felt like a long time because Stone became one of my closest friends out there.
Yeah.
And so not having spoken to him for that long, it was hard, especially knowing or not really knowing the kind of injuries that he sustained, but just knowing that he was injured. But yeah, I remember, I think I finally got in touch with you on Facebook Messenger or something like that, right?
Yeah.
And yeah, so, and then throughout, so that was 2011 up until 2013, we were in pretty regular contact, trying to figure out what was going on with your SIV. And then, December 31st, 2013, I go pick him up at JFK.
JFK.
I remember it was crazy seeing him for the first time.
Have killed you with emotions. Come on, dude.
It was insane. It was so insane, and it was just so wonderful to see him. And how overjoyed I was that you were here and you were safe, and that you were walking, and yeah, it was crazy,
Yeah, it's cool. It's really cool to hear that from our point of view, because so many of us wanted to know how you guys were. You know what I mean? Like, just to hear you guys talking about it, it's good. It's good to see. Stone, how's it been since you've kind of been back from that deployment? How has your experience with us, in Afghanistan affected you at home? How has PTSD, affected you, or any kind of combat stresses, affected you since you've been.
Actually, like that day I came to America, there was like different places and organizations in America, like they were trying to make money. So they sent me to a place, they called it like Kessler Rehabilitation Institute or something like that. I went there. They asked me why you are here. I don't know. I don't know. They sent me over here. I say, are you a military? I say, I was working with the military in Afghanistan. I told them the whole story. And then they asked me some questions. They had different tests from me. And they said, you are all right. You don't need to be here. You don't need to be here. I told him, yeah, I know I'm all right, but I don't know, like the agency, they told me to go to Kessler. Like that guy, like he told me, I think they are trying to make money out of you. So you don't need to be here. You need to go to college. You need to go to college, you study. So it's not necessary for you to be here and just waste your time, because they were trying to send me over there from 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. every day.
I remember you doing that. I remember that.
Yeah. Was that
HRC or IRC?
Yeah, that was IRC. And they did that. So later on, I asked him, hey, why you guys did that to me? I was all right. You guys knew. And say, yeah, one day you went to the one of the offices. You had an argument with them. I say, yeah, the argument was true. Because I told that guy, hey, why you are not doing your job? It's been like 2-3 weeks. I'm waiting just for this document. You are not sending it to me. Why? That was the only argument I had with him. And then you guys sent me to the Kessler rehabilitation because I'm crazy. I'm not crazy.
That's how it happened?
Yeah, that's like what happened.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah. Then like the last day, one of like their doctors like came to me, asked me, hey, you don't need to be here. It's better for you to start college. Then I start like going to college. I went to UCC, I think. Yeah, I went to UCC and start like I took the English like 101. Yeah, I took like 101 class.
Yeah, that was Union County College. I remember
Yeah,
that.
yeah, Union College.
Yeah.
Stone, something that I talk about a lot, and a lot of the guys on the team talk about a lot, is the relationship that you had with Dan over there. How you guys worked together. You worked. We all saw it too. You worked. I don't even know how to explain it, but we knew you were killing it. We knew that you were just doing a great job. You knew that you were working for us, and we'd never seen that before because Thomas, my boy Sammy, you know, they were not the best interpreters. They were subpar. But when you did your work and when we saw you engaged with everyone, we saw them. You know what we saw out of you? We saw that you were fighting our fight. We could tell that you were getting information and giving it to Dan the way you needed to. You were interpreting everything in our favor, telling us the little things that we should know that a lot of people didn't want us to know. And to see you do that has been one of the highlights of my life, Stone. I've never seen such a relationship between officer and interpreter and seen it just perfected. You did it on another level, my friend. I've never seen something done so perfectly. The way you executed your job was exquisite, and I think that I was just it was an honor to see that. Stone is basically what I'm trying to
Thank
say,
you.
and we all the team, me speaking on behalf of the team, we recognize that, and we want to thank you for doing your job to the utmost degree over there. Because you know what? If you didn't, I don't think I'd be here right now, to be honest with you, man.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you.
If I could,
You know,
I could just
yeah,
piggyback
right.
on that real quick. Stone did a lot of things that weren't his job, right?
Yeah,
His job was to be a linguist. His job was to interpret. His job was not to get blown up. His job wasn't to run into compounds with after I throw my gun to him, like, hey, Stone, come with me, and it's me and him going into a compound, clearing a compound. That's not his job, man. But so he was so committed to the cause. He was so committed to building a better Afghanistan. I think, and that's what Nick you're talking about, is that
Yeah.
it was so recognizable that like he was fully on board. And that's something that I had never seen from another interpreter. Even from my time in Iraq, there was not that sort of um, adherence to what the mission was from
Yeah.
any other interpreter. And I think, so that spoke volumes to me, and that's why I initially saw that, and I says, I gotta find a way to get this guy on my team. And then so from there we built this trust, and again, really it was a friendship. And Stone, you lived with me for 3 years, man. It was great, and that I think that was certainly many of the ingredients that went into that recipe. And the reason why I think, like you had pointed out so aptly, is why we were so successful in some of the stuff that we did. He's done a lot for Afghanistan. He's done even more for this country. Only for him to, after getting his citizenship, turning back around and
Going
doing the
back
same.
at it.
And Stone, you need to be applauded for that, man.
Absolutely.
The accolades and the praises can't be enough, man. And I once again thank you for that.
Stone, I want you to
I
know that
really
to
appreciate.
be a dad, you are a Marine. You're one of
Oh
us,
yeah,
bro. You know what I'm saying? You need
no
to know
doubt,
that.
no
I really
doubt.
appreciate it. So, as you mentioned earlier, like the relationship we had. So the moment I asked Dan, so you are working hard. You know what he replied to me? Because I was tired. I was tired going like to missions like 3 times a day. Like 2 a.m., 3 a.m., then in the afternoon, like he told me, this is your country. You don't want your country to be safe? Then I say, yeah, I want it. Then
Yeah,
I never
that's
said
hard.
no. Yeah, and then I never said no to animations. So the animations, like I was going. So Dan is
Yeah.
going, yeah, I'm going to that mission, like voluntarily. So I was going to that missions. I really appreciate so what you guys did for me, for my family, and the other like Afghans back there. So on behalf of Afghans, so what you guys did for them, so I really appreciate like all you guys and the sacrifices like you guys had in Afghanistan.
Yeah, thanks though.
Oh.
Something that just sticks out in you, man, is you have no ulterior motive. Like you really were just 100%. Because we could see that in other interpreters, man. It's apparent, like that. Thomas, or not even really Tom, I don't know, just other interpreters. You could tell they weren't down for the cause. They were there for other reasons, whether it was to steal from the civilians or just to do shady shit with the ANA. You you were a leader. You were there to work and get the job done ultimately, fully committed. And we all noticed that, man. And I just need you to know that it wasn't, unnoticed, if you will.
Thank you. And also like the trust, like we had usually like the Americans, they don't trust their interpreters. This is also one of the reasons. So like they are not like so close with the interpreters. So they don't trust them because like they are from Afghanistan, they are Afghan, they might be Talib, they might be this and that. And the relation like we built, so you notice I was carrying weapons that I was not supposed to. So I had like shotgun, I had
Yeah, you
like
did. You were always strapped up with us, dude. You don't,
yeah, so
Stone, you don't remember the when we got into firefight and you handed me a grenade?
yeah.
Oh shit. Oh, good times, man. I
Good
gotta say,
times.
honestly, just I had the best time of my life out there with you, Stone. We had a ultimate. It's crazy that thinking of that, how dangerous of an area we were in, how we were fighting all the time. Yet it was the best time of my life, and I'm thankful that you were there with me, brother.
Yeah, actually like that was like really good memories back there. So we made some good memories
We
like
did.
in that compound and that like
Oh yeah.
mission,
Oh yeah.
like going to all the mountains,
Yeah.
checking the checkpoints.
Yeah. We had
So
good times,
all
man.
great
Do
memories.
you remember? You remember when we went to Herat and you guys ate at that sketchy restaurant with the hookahs and the what was that restaurant? Why was it
That was
just? It looked
that
out
was
of
Major,
place.
it was Major Fareed's brother that invited us
Oh,
over
that was
there.
his brother's actually
Yeah,
owned it.
so
It
Major
looked like
Fareed.
mafia money. It looked like just like kind of corrupt
That was
something.
a
I don't know.
restaurant. Yeah, that was a restaurant. That
Yeah,
was a restaurant. They called that Hazar Yak Shop. Name of the
Hmm,
restaurant is like Hazar Yak Shop. Like one night and thousand nights. Like this is like what that means.
got you.
And that place they call that Talk Zafar. So that was one of the restaurants. We went there and Major Farid brother like invited us there.
I
We
So
gotta
had
send
great
you.
Major Fareed must be a player of the Taliban. He's got to be. Got to be a big player in the Taliban. Honestly, let's be real. I
actually,
mean,
to be honest, he was not player with the Taliban. He was like had some with drugs and stuff. Like he had that thing.
okay. So you're saying he was his own boss. He was like a boss, like just a drug dealer in Afghanistan that kind of worked with the Taliban here. I didn't think that the Taliban allowed that. You know what I mean? I didn't think like you could be like a small time gangster in
Bismillah John,
Afghanistan.
right? You remember Bismillah
I
John?
do. Yeah.
I remember Bismillah John.
Yeah.
He's coming to America too.
Get what?
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Wow.
One day,
It's getting bad.
I met a lady in Qatar. So I was working somewhere, so I was trying to just talk to her. I started talking to her, so finally I found out like she was sister-in-law of Bismillah John.
And
So like when I found out that, I asked her, so where is Bismillah John? Like she said, oh, she is still in Afghanistan. She is trying to come to America.
And as far as you know, he hasn't come to America, or he came here, or he was just
I
trying
think still he is in Afghanistan.
All right. So Bismillah John was the Taliban that was somehow got into the Afghan National Police and was a police officer, but also basically, if I had to guess, he was sending an intel over to the Taliban, and he was.
remind me again what he looked like. What who was he? Who did he hang out with?
He would show up like one day and then leave for 2 weeks and then come back.
Yeah, I think I do remember who this is.
He was that skinny.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. No, wait, that's kind of not the best thing. They're all skinny as hell. If they were fat, kind of knew they were like a leader or something, like someone in charge of something with money.
No, but he was opposite of that. He was so skinny, small.
This is my point. I got you. Okay.
Yeah.
Bismillah John, man, crazy times. So, all right, let's fast forward till today. What's how crazy is it coming from a deployment like ours to all of a sudden the Taliban now is back in control? That's gonna be insane. That's gonna be insanity. I can't imagine you even being over there, dude. They must know your face. You must be a hunted man over there right now, Stone. There's probably little Stone pictures in the Afghans HQs like this motherfucker.
The day I was going back to Afghanistan, like 2019, everybody was asking me, are you crazy? Are you crazy? So why you are going back to Afghanistan? I told him this is like our mission. I have to finish this mission. I have to go back. So the good thing was, so after I got my clearance, I was not going on the field.
Gotcha.
Yeah, I was always working inside.
Dan, I gotta hit the head real quick. You got it. Bathroom real quick. Dan's got it. Stand by.
I'm sorry, what did you say?
So like the work that I was doing like for the past like 4 years. So that was always inside the base. I was not leaving the base. Right. So as an American citizen, and also currently I just have one citizenship, it's like American citizenship. That's it.
That's all you need, brother.
Yeah, I was staying inside the base, not leaving the base. So that was kind of like the good thing about the last missions.
Yeah. And how are you feeling now? I mean, like, so you have a family now, you're married, and all your family is here, your mom is here, your brothers are here, and how do you feel? Do you feel as if you're living the American dream now?
The way the people are thinking like about America, so it's not like that. So you have to work hard. Yeah, you have to work hard to make something for your family, for your kids. So you have to work hard. Like the current deployment that I am on. So I am 5 months, 6 months on duty. And then I can just take off for like sometimes 20 days, sometimes a month, sometimes like 40 days, like without pay, leave without pay.
Right.
Yeah. So I have to work hard, support my family. Yeah. I'm happy that they are all in America right now. And I have to like set up everything for them, like help my kids to go to school, to brighten their futures.
And so where are your kids now? What grades are they in? Well, I know you have your not newborn, but
Yeah,
your young.
my son is Ajmer. He is like 18 months. He's 18 months. He's so smart.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's
So
so smart.
is he speaking English? Well, maybe not.
Actually, like he was learning Spanish from cartoons.
From where?
From cartoons.
From cartoons? He was
Yeah. So my daughter, like one day, I noticed like she was speaking Russian.
Yeah, get out of here.
Yeah, I noticed like she was telling her brother, "Давай, давай, давай." Давай is like a Russian word.
Mm-hmm.
And
Mm-hmm.
then I asked her, "What was that? Can you repeat that?" She just repeated. I asked her, "Where you learned that?" She said, "From cartoons." Like she's speaking English right now. She is
Yeah.
just 4. She is just 4. She is in pre-K3 school.
Right, right.
Yeah, like she speaks English.
So does she also speak Dari?
Yeah, she speaks Dari at home.
Yeah.
We are trying to just don't speak with her in English in the house to just make her learn like Dari language too.
How old is
That's
she?
good.
4?
And she speaks multiple languages?
Yeah.
It's foreign to us in this country because,
Yeah,
unless
true. We're stupid. Yeah.
you
Stone, what advice would you give someone that's kind of like following in your footsteps? That's maybe thinking of being uh, an interpreter, from maybe say they're from the same area as you. What advice would you give them?
Um, Actually, like as I mentioned, early being an interpreter is not easy. So when someone wants to become an interpreter, they have to be honest to their job, and they should know what they're doing. And those interpreters that they really worked hard on like battlefields, um, they uh, they some of them are still in Afghanistan, like living like the worst life in Afghanistan. And fortunately, I met some of them in Doha. So the US just evacuate them from Afghanistan. Hopefully one day all the interpreters who worked on behalf of our troops in Afghanistan get the chance to get out of Afghanistan, because Afghanistan is not safe for them,
Definitely.
to come to America to have like a better life.
Do you think that that America kind of fell short on that? Like we kind of left some interpreters, over there when we should have brought them home to the United States?
Some of the interpreters are still there. Yeah, I have contacts with them. I have contact with some of the interpreters. So they are still there. They are waiting for their visa process. I don't know, like what happened during the evacuation. So the evacuation was planned to evacuate the partners. So who helped us? Who helped us? We needed to evacuate them, but unfortunately, like the people that they never worked for us, they just they were a drivers, like a labor, like they just entered the airport, just flew to America. So right now we have left behind lots of interpreters in Afghanistan. They are still there living like the worst situation right now. They are hiding. So I hope the American um, politician or like those people that they are in charge planned to evacuate them too.
Definitely, so did I, for sure. Well, Stone, I want to say thank you for coming on, and sharing your story with us somewhat. I really appreciate that. I know it's not easy to do, and I want to just say it's great to see you, man. I'm super happy that you're doing good. I'm psyched that you're in the United States, and I'd really like to try to set up a meetup soon, maybe at Dan's house. We can link up sometime and just have a boys' weekend or something. It'd be really good to see you in person.
Okay. Thanks so much. I really missed you guys. I'm very happy to actually like see you guys face to face through like this window. I wish you guys to be happy and healthy. And once again, I really appreciate what you guys did for me and for Afghanistan. And as it's like my first interview with you guys,
First of
I
many.
I really apologize if I um, made any mistakes
Oh, stop it. Stop
and
it,
say
you.
something that I was not
You
supposed to
you
say that.
perfectionist,
So
you. I
that's
know
like my
you.
first interview.
Stop. You did great.
Uh,
You know it. You know you did.
thank
And
you.
you got anything for him?
No, man, it's great to see you, man. It really is. And you're not that far from me, so I keep telling you, man, you got to come up, and I got a bunch of mail for you.
Stone, let me know. Let me know if you come up to see him. I'll definitely join.
Yeah,
We'll
yeah,
set that up
definitely
soon.
we will
It'd be
plan.
good to
Yeah,
see you. It'd be good to see you in
yeah, I
person, man.
already talked. We will plan something.
Cool.
Okay.
All right.
Good.
Well, there
Okay.
you have it, everybody.
Sooner rather than later.
Episode 68 of the Hard Deal podcast with the infamous Stone. Have a good night.
Love you, brother.
Semper Fidelis.
Love you,
Thank
fellas.
you. Good night.
Love you too, guy.
See you later.
Rah.